So good morning. I'm Aileen Fuchs. I am the President and Executive Director of the National Building Museum. It is my absolute pleasure and honor to welcome you all here today for our Future Cities Housing Affordability Summit. So the summit today will be a chance to engage and question and learn about the current challenges and opportunities in the housing affordability crisis. By creating a shared space for conversations and public engagement, it is our hope to uncover and inspire innovative solutions towards making housing more responsive, resilient, and accessible to more people. Before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for making this summit and all of our equity programming possible. Today's lead sponsor is AARP, and a special thank you to Allstate, Enterprise Community Partners, Wells Fargo, the American Institute of Architects, the American Society of Landscape Architects, ARAP, MITEC, the National Council of Architectural Registration Boards, Studios Architecture, Bonster Hairsign Architects, and Moody Nolan. Please, let's give them a round of applause for their support of this important work. Founded by an act of Congress in 1980, the National Building Museum educates and engages people about the built environment and its impact on our lives and our communities. Housing affordability has always been a critical part of our work. In 2004, we opened Affordable Housing, Designing an American Asset. In 2018, we opened Evicted, the exhibition based on Matthew Desmond's Pulitzer Prize-winning book, before traveling it across the country. Today, equity is one of the museum's guiding pillars of impact. This summit continues the museum's commitment to connect the dots between equity and social justice and the built environment, and to better understand how design and construction can create opportunity and empower communities to thrive. The summit directly builds upon our current exhibition, A Better Way Home, the Housing Affordability Breakthrough Challenge, which is just across the Great Hall over there. A special thank you to our sponsors, Enterprise Community Partners and Wells Fargo, for bringing this exhibition to the museum. It showcases 6 innovative solutions that are being implemented to create more affordable housing opportunities specific to their communities and contexts. Be sure to check that out today. Today's summit kicks off our Future Cities Initiative, a multi-year platform where through exhibitions, programs, convenings, and public engagement, we explore the changing nature of the American cities. As cities tackle inequality, climate change, biodiversity loss, commercial vacancies, an aging demographic, public health crises, the future city needs to be reimagined. Our initiative takes a past, present, future approach to look at cultural transitions and the vibrant life of the urban environment, asking how and who is going to build and evolve our cities as equitable, sustainable, livable, maybe even joyful. I hope you will all join us on this important journey. Throughout the day, we hope to engage you through interactive audience questions, which you'll see appear on the screen. Boom. Please scan your QR code and respond to the prompts using your phone. We want to hear your thoughtful responses. And while all responses will remain anonymous, the collective information we learned today will be integral to guiding the museum's future work. I'd now like to introduce Rodney Harrell. Rodney is the Vice President of Family, Home, and Community at AARP, leading the AARP Public Policy Institute's team of experts related to family caregiving and livable communities. He is also an esteemed trustee of the National Building Museum. His research focuses on housing preferences, neighborhood choice, and community livability. He and his team are showcasing the AARP Livability Index that measures the services and amenities that impact residents in every U.S. neighborhood as one of the pop-up exhibitions you can experience today. So now it is my pleasure to welcome Rodney to the stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aileen, and thank you, everyone. Excited to see you all here today, and excited to be here on a day to talk about an important issue that impacts millions of us, housing affordability. I want to add my thanks to the Building Museum, members of the board, and the incredible staff for organizing us today, and I look forward to everything we're going to do here. AARP is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering people 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. With a nationwide presence, AARP strengthens communities and advocates for what matters most to the 100 million Americans who are 50 and older and their families. And part of this work includes our continuing efforts to address housing needs for older adults and their families. AARP's founding story is that of a chicken coop. Our founder, Ethel Percy Andrus, found one of her co-workers who was living in a chicken coop in California during the Depression. And the idea was that she had lost, in a land deal gone bad, she had lost her property, and that was the only place she could afford to live. And that led us down years of looking at financial security and many other issues, but it's obviously an issue of housing. Fast forwarding half a century later, I remember talking to a woman in Cleveland, and I was doing a study about understanding the importance of having access to transit in affordable housing, or how many features that they would have. And she always sticks with me because she was just so happy, so desperate to get off a waiting list and get that unit that she couldn't really answer my other questions about whether she was better off or worse off for some of these features we were talking about. And that always sticks with me to this day. Waiting lists being closed, people desperate to find housing that works for them. And so it's very important that we talk about housing affordability today. So growing the supply, diversity, and availability of housing options is essential to expanding opportunity and affordability for all. And as America's population ages and communities work to create age-friendly neighborhoods, changes to how we approach housing are essential. We must work across sectors to address housing challenges, to make all of our communities affordable and welcoming for people regardless of their age, their background, circumstance, or physical ability. And to see more on some of the societal trends that impact housing, you can go to aarp.org/futureofhousing, or you can visit our booth right behind me and see some more of our information on our work. We're also proud of the Livability Index that Aileen mentioned, our platform that measures every neighborhood and community across the country, both for helping to impact policymakers and to educate individuals. On October 31st, we'll be launching a new version of that, so please stay tuned for all the new changes that we'll be doing then. And do stop by that booth when you get a chance. Aileen mentioned one of our pillars, equity, for the Building Museum. There's another pillar that I will call on you today. Not only equity and the idea that everyone should be able to find a housing option that meets their needs in the community of their choice, regardless of who they are, but also innovation. And the idea that we need to be innovative in our thoughts, in our policies, in our approaches to address some of these issues that we have been dealing with for centuries. We must work to adopt tools, policy, and practices that enable us to think differently from what we've been doing in past years. So I'm excited to hear from our wonderful lineup of speakers today. You'll hear a little bit more from me later as well. But right now, I want to get back to the show and turn it back over. Thank you.